You know what's been amusing me these days is how a lot of human beings get to spend close to 10 to 12 years of our human life, integral part of our human life, right from up until childhood, kindergarten, to maybe when we finish 10th to 12th grade in the formal education system, learning about stuff that maybe we're not going to use as much in day to day life. And then we'll spend 3 to 4 years more in order to get that professional degree of being a doctor, engineer, or an accountant, in order to get that one particular job that is going to help us kickstart a career, which is going to last us maybe where 25 to 35 years, going at the rate at which people retire these days, okay? So you're technically trained to provide, you're technically trained to be a professional. But at the same time, unfortunately, not a lot of us young adults received any sort of training or education in trying to navigate human relationships, or any sort of information while growing up on how to be somebody's partner. And these days, not a lot of young adults are even willing to take out a year or two in trying to understand themselves, their own emotional health, or their own emotional capabilities, in order to be somebody's boyfriend or husband before they enter that big commitment called a marriage, which, if I'm not wrong, is going to last you until death do either of you apart. Like, why didn't people teach us relationshipping growing up? Seriously. Because stuff like family values, of course, you learn about them through your own family and the families around you. But how many people are out there who are privileged to have a family that teaches you stuff like that, right? You're not taught about those things in schools because it's considered softer aspect of living. Whereas these days, it's literally the hardcore skill set that you require, right? Stuff like, okay, we are taught about sex, but only with the perspective of how to avoid unwanted pregnancy or STDs. But intimacy, consent, gender roles, all of this is not taught to you growing up or even during your teen years, and you're left out to figure out all on your own in your 20s, right? And I know that you can't necessarily depend on the education system for everything, and a lot of these things are learned on the go. But at the same time, maybe some education would have been helpful. And I'm not even saying like scientific evidence-based research in this area, okay? But basic stuff, like give me case study on the pressures that men face while trying to provide for the family. Give me case studies about how successful women built businesses while navigating time, resources, personal life. Give me information about maybe how do same gender parents navigate adoption, stuff like that. You're not taught about these things in schools simply because they are considered unimportant. And now what's happening is that a lot of young adults are left at the mercy of so-called relationship influencers on social media who pelt crazy advice left, right, and center. Like, I heard this girl on TikTok the other day going like, if he doesn't text you as soon as the date is done, then maybe he's not the one for you. I'm thinking, dude, he must just be busy, like, stuff like that. It's unfortunate because a lot of things in the society are now broken because not a lot of young adults are able to navigate this aspect of human life, which is building a family, which is why a lot of us have anxieties, depression, and all of that, because building a good partnership, romantic partnership, and navigating that area of human life is not just integral to building a good family, right? But it's also integral to building a good career, building a good society. Relationships form the core of so many things in our life. But unfortunately, we are not taught about these things. We are instead taught about Pythagoras theorem. Like, I'm waiting for the day when I wake up and I'm like, I'm going to use the Pythagoras theorem to solve some of my major life problems these days. But seriously, man, upgrade the education system, please.